What's up, soldiers? It's WildBlueYonder, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about picking a job in the Air Force that's going to best suit you for when you become a civilian. Now, I usually make videos for airmen and people in the Air Force, but this video can relate to anybody in any branch of the military. When you first pick your job and you're joining the Air Force, your recruiter probably isn't going to talk to you too much about 20 years down the line, what you're going to have on your plate. And honestly, you might not be thinking about that yourself, so that's why I'm making this video. The truth of the matter is that a lot of jobs don't translate well to the civilian sector, so once you retire or separate, you might not have anything to offer to the outside world, so you basically start back off at square one. I'll use myself as an example. My job is 2 Alpha 6X3 Aircrew Egress Systems in the United States Air Force. My job is to work on ejection seats, work with explosives. I don't know much about any other part of the plane except for the egress system. So this leaves me with a very narrow set of skills, and a lot of people end up that way once they leave the Air Force. They find out, oh man, I don't really have any credentials, I don't have any licensing, I don't have much experience in other parts of the aircraft or in any other parts of my field. And so you have to take a few steps back, go back to school, learn a few things, get some hands-on experience, and then you can finally catch some traction and get a good job. So say I stay in the Air Force for 20 years as an egress systems maintainer. So I have 20 years of experience working with ejection seats. I can go out into the civilian world and you might think, oh, I can go work for Delta and work on, sheet metal, or I could go work on their fuel systems or propulsions, or I could work at a general aviation, a smaller airport, and work on their Cessnas, their little airplanes, and tinker around with those. But it doesn't work like that. If you want to be a maintainer on civilian aircraft, you need your A&P, your airframe and power plant license, and to get that it takes about 2.5 years plus years of experience on sheet metal, fuel systems, and propulsions. Working on egress, I don't have experience on any of that stuff, so my 20 years of experience is basically worthless. Then you'd have to go back to school, pay for it out of pocket, finally get some experience, then you could apply and try to get a job. So while you're in the Air Force, you really have to think about your future. What do you want to do? What is that going to require out of you education-wise, credential and licensing-wise? In this video, I'm also going to talk about how you can get those credentials, education, and licensing while you're in the Air Force, and how it can be free or paid for quite a bit. This is also something you should consider before you join the military. What am I going into, and what is that going to benefit me in the future? If you're going to go into security forces, do you want to be a lawyer, or do you want to have a degree in criminal justice? Do you want to be a cop? Join the FBI, join the Secret Service. People have goals like that, but if that doesn't align up to what your goals are, then why are you going into security forces? You might be going down the wrong road. I know not everybody has it all figured out. You might be joining the Air Force or the military just to get out of your parents' house like I was, and you're not quite sure where the road is going to lead you. But along the way, set yourself up for success, use these tools to your advantage, know what's going to happen in your future, or try to guess what's going to happen and try to lay out the brickwork. One thing that's very important about getting a civilian job is having hands-on experience. And a lot of people who join in with a 4-year contract don't get enough experience because many jobs require at least 5 years on the job, 6 years on the job, so on and so forth. So say you signed up with a 4-year contract, you probably spent about a year in basic training in tech school. It probably took you about another year to get your upgrade training to your 5 level. So you might have about 2.5, maybe 3 years of training and actual on-the-job experience. That's not a whole lot to go out in the world with. So also keep in mind the length of your contract and how long you plan on being in the military. So credentialing, licensing, and education. There's many different options, different routes you can take. If you want to get your education, the joining the military is a great option. The Air Force specifically, I can't speak for other branches because I don't think they have this program, but the Air Force has what's called the COOL program. The COOL program is $4,500 that is allotted to every person who is enlisted, and you can use that money throughout your entire enlistment towards credentials and licensing. Now here's the catch. You can't just take that $4,500 and run with it and just go and get whatever you want. There is a list of different credentials that you can take that align with your career field. So I'm an aircraft mechanic, and I can get aircraft mechanic related credentials with it. So I can get my A&P using that $4,500, which I talked about earlier, so I can go out in the maintenance, out in the civilian world and get maintenance jobs. So that's how you get licensing and credentials in the Air Force. You use that $4,500 and you can use that towards whatever you want as long as it's on that list and it's within your field of study. Another great resource to use is obviously your MGI Bill, your tuition assistance, and your CLEPS and DANTEs. Now this is just to get your general education, your associate's degree or your bachelor's degree Another pool of money that you can use is your tuition assistance and your MGI bill. And that is $4,500 every year for your tuition assistance. This is for active duty airmen. And your MGI bill covers 36 months of tuition, which is technically 4 years to get a 4-year degree. I would strongly recommend to hold off on using your MGI bill and use that for your postgraduate degree, if you plan on getting one. If you don't plan on getting one, then I would suggest just using it for your kids or your family, but use your tuition assistance on yourself. Your tuition assistance is $4,500 per year for active duty airmen, and you cannot translate that to your family, so that's why I say use it on yourself. Keep that MGI bill on the side until after you retire or separate. It's kind of interesting how it works. You can only use the $4,500 towards whatever your set degree plan is, so you have to declare whatever degree you're seeking. So what I did was I went to the education office. I said, hey, I'm trying to get my associates in aviation maintenance technology. They said, fine, we're going to set you up with that. That's what your TA is set up to go to now. So I can only use that $4,500 towards my CCAF, my Community College of the Air Force, or my associate's degree. So once that is completed, I can now go off and use that $4,500 to my next level, which is a bachelor's degree. There's a few tips that I want to give you all about your associate's degree. Now, when you go to basic training and tech school, you're going to start earning college credits. All those credits are going to go towards your Community College of the Air Force associate's degree. And that associate's degree is going to be in line with your career, with your field of study. So I'm a maintainer. If you're a maintainer, you're going to have a CCAF in aviation maintenance technology. All of your credits are going to go towards that. Getting your CCF is so easy. It's basically taking like another year of high school. It's very simple, and there's a very quick and efficient way of getting it. It's not going to cost you a dime. Here's how you get your associate's degree without spending a single penny. There's these things called CLEPS and DANTEs. CLEPS and DANTEs are a quick way to earn college credits because they're basically the tests that you would have gotten at the end of an 8 or 16-week college course. So what you would normally do, what a civilian would do, is they would go and sit through a class for 8 to 16 weeks online, and then they would take a test at the end of it. If they pass, they get, 3 or 4 college credits. So 8 weeks, 3 or 4 college credits. Whereas you can go in, you can sign up for a CLEP, it's free. You go in, you sit down at a computer, you take a test. If you pass it, you get your 3 or 4 credits right then and there. So if you want to take a CLEP, you just go online, sign up, call the testing facility, set up an appointment, show up, sit down, take an hour or two, take a 100-question test, and if you pass it, great. Here's your credits right here. Now, if you fail it, it's still free. And again, if you fail one CLEP, it's only a timeout for that one CLEP. You can go and take other ones all you want. I know it's been a while since I put up a video. I had to brush the cobwebs off the camera, move it out, move the mummies out of the way, get it out the, Indiana Jones style. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time on WildBlueYonder. Peace out.